Hi, my name is Ngozi Chukwu and I'm a creative. When I first heard about the School of Creative 7, I had this joy and excitement in my heart, like something I've been waiting for so long is finally here. One of the myths I used to believe was when growing up, they told us that when you see yourself eating in the dream, like it's terrible, it's one of the ways you get initiated into witchcraft and all that. But for years, I've been sleeping and I see myself eating, cooking in the dream. I didn't understand it at first, but when I came to this school, I got exposed to what God wanted me to do with the art He has given me. This school really got me what I needed at this particular time. It showed me that I can be prophetic through culinary arts.
Adeland School was a big experience for me because I learned a whole lot altogether. From when we had the classes to now, I would say my appetite for risk has increased. Seriously, I've learned to take the big step. I've learned to take the big step in achieving goals. I've learned to discover myself more as a person. One of the most exciting part of the classes was how to hear from God. Sincerely speaking, that aspect of spontaneity, hearing from God, it has been so awesome, because when it comes to hearing from God, I had a preconceived mindset of, okay, this is how God speaks, this is how God speaks. But hearing from God has been amazing because I've been able to put both spontaneity, thoughts, and everything together and get amazing results.
Life is about relationship. You were created for relationship. Even your creator said it's not good for man to be alone. Yes, it's about marriage, but much more than marriage is about having people around you and then having a spouse who understand that there is a deep need in the heart of man for relationship. See, we can have things, we can have cars, we can have wristwatches, we can have clothes, we can have anything. It does not replace an intimate relationship with another person. And furthermore, I want you to understand that money cannot hug you. If you are left in a room with money and then you are sick, that money cannot stand up and take care of you. Do you feel what I'm talking about this morning? If you want to change your clothes, the money cannot stand up and change your clothes and give you the medication. If money is going to do anything, it's a human being that will take that money from the bank or wherever, or your pocket, and use it. So for those of us who place money above human beings, you are misplacing life. See, the day people grow old and die, at their wedding bed, they are not asking for their certificates. They are not asking for their contract papers. They are asking for their family members to surround them. If you mess up your family members, destroy relationship because of things, you'll eventually discover that one of the most in this world, the most relevant, sustainable way of being relevant in the world, you have destroyed it. That's relationship. And the person that you're coming to relationship with, which is your spouse, that place, there must be physical intimacy, there must be close friendship, and then there must be, as we have said, understanding, communication. So if we have these three kinds of people, I'm in marriage, I'm unhappy, I'm discouraged, but I can't pull out. I can't pull out because of what the society will say. I'm in marriage, I'm unhappy, I'm ready to give up. And then another set says, I'm in marriage, I understand what it is, but I'm asking for something deeper and something richer. All right? So my slide is ready. Let's move. Let us look at step 1. How do we pursue or do things that will lead to communication, that will lead to physical intimacy, and then that will lead to physical close friendship, talk, touch, and tenderness. Step 1 is you must renew your perspective by choosing to cultivate deeper levels of intimacy with God. You must renew your perspective by choosing to cultivate deeper levels of intimacy with God. This cannot be overemphasized. Ladies and gentlemen, I have discovered that an empty soul is a stronghold waiting to happen, is a disaster waiting to happen. Why am I saying this? When God created you, the essence of your creation is for you to be sustained by his presence. That's why decoding the God code, when you want to decode the God code, the first code is that God created all things. Then the second code, which we shared, is that God, who created all things, is also the pattern for all things. But let's leave that and go to the second code, the God code in man. Man is created in God's image. So God is your father. You look like him. Father means source. Father means origin, where you came out from. Most times, you are sustained from where you came out from. If you do not have that sustenance that comes from a relationship with God, it just simply means to have understanding, communication, to have close friendship, and then to have physical intimacy will be difficult. So we need to change our perspective by saying, at every particular point in time, I want my relationship with God to be higher and higher, to go deeper and deeper. Someone said, as the deer pants for living water, so my soul longs for you. And friends, you see, that place of relationship with God in your heart, nothing can take its place. Because your soul was created to crave and feast on God. That craving and that feasting that you're supposed to do with God, if it's not there, that's where the problem comes. I heard Mama saying that you will lean on crutches. How do I explain this for you? I don't know where I said this in this various house before. One day I came, that day I preached about 3 or 4 times. I came home very thirsty. I wanted to drink water. And my natural disposition, I don't take anything that is artificial. Anything I'm going to take, Mama is even like that. It has to be natural, including the soap. So I'd rather use shea butter. I'd rather use black soap. Is how we live. No, so which means there are, no matter how the orange juice is, it has to be natural. And the people around me knew this. So this particular day I was so thirsty. And I shouted, I wanted, please give me juice. And the juice I wanted to take, I don't want to mention the brand. They called it juice, but it's sugar. So she said, but you know you don't take. I said, give me that one. That's what I'm hungry for. So, okay, I'm going to give you water. If you drink this water and you're still thirsty, then I'll give you the juice you require, the orange juice that is not natural. So she gave me water. The moment I took the water, I didn't need the juice again. You see, no matter how expensive the wine is, if it is water you are looking for, let them give you wine. You will drink it, you will still look for water. And now just think about this. If it is water you are looking for, as long as you don't see water, do you know, sir, you can take anything. You can take, no matter how unhealthy, because the thirst has not been quenched. And as long as the thirst has not been quenched, thank you, Jesus. As long as the thirst has not been quenched, you will always use other things to fill your cup. Let me explain this. The intimacy that you require with God, that you need with God, if that intimacy is not filled, the close friendship that you desire with God, if it is not there, you didn't do that number one first. The touch, the talk, the tenderness that is supposed to first of all come from your father, the moment is missing, it will destroy so many other things. So even when your wife or your husband touch you, the touch will not satisfy you. Even when they talk, you won't get the satisfaction. No matter how tender, you won't feel the tenderness. You will look for other means. You may even go to, you can degrade yourself to masturbation. You can degrade yourself to other relationships. You can go into other options. It's not those options that is even what you are looking for. You are trying to quench a thirst. So you use all these other things to try to fill the thirst, but it will not answer the question because that is not what you need. The moment you cultivate a relationship with God that goes at every level, because the Bible says his love is new every morning. Every level, you're going higher, you're going higher, you're going higher. It automatically takes care of, first of all, the desire for touch, for talk, and for tenderness. First of all. First of all.
Hi, my name is Ngozi Chukwu, and I'm a creative. When I first heard about the School of Creative 7, I had this joy and excitement in my heart, like something I've been waiting for so long is finally here. One of the myths I used to believe was, when growing up, they told us that when you see yourself eating in the dream, like it's terrible, it's one of the ways you get initiated into witchcraft and all that. But for years, I've been sleeping and I see myself eating, cooking in the dream. I didn't understand it at first, but when I came to this school, I got exposed to what God wanted me to do with the art He has given me. This school really got me what I needed at this particular time. It showed me that I can be prophetic through culinary arts.
Adeland School was a big experience for me because I learned a whole lot altogether. From when we had the classes to now, I would say my appetite for risk has increased. Seriously, I've learned to take the big step. I've learned to take the big step in achieving goals. I've learned to discover myself more as a person. One of the most exciting part of the classes was how to hear from God. Sincerely speaking, that aspect of spontaneity, hearing from God, it has been so awesome, because when it comes to hearing from God, I had a preconceived mindset of, okay, this is how God speaks, this is how God speaks. But hearing from God has been amazing because I've been able to put both spontaneity, thoughts, and everything together and get amazing results.
Before we start talking about other human beings. So what do you say? Never become so focused on the problem that you can't see any solution. In most of our marriages, we focus on what this person cannot do this person is not doing that, this person is not doing that. We focus so much on the problem that we cannot see solution. And you know something? Whatever you focus on magnifies. As long as you focus on your spouse's weaknesses, those weaknesses will continue to amplify, will continue to magnify. So, and when you focus on problems, it's difficult to see solutions. And in Africa, we also seem to focus on the things that are not going well. In this country, when something good happens, most times we don't even remember or give attention to it and talk about it on a large scale, because when you focus on what is not working, when solution comes, you cannot see it. I want to say, it's easy for the pain and disappointment to distract you from the strength that can come from the Lord Jesus Christ. When you are in pain, when you have been disappointed, and you focus on the pain and focus on the disappointment, the strength that is supposed to be supplied to you from the relationship with God, you won't be able to see it. Because your relationship with God is strength. That's why the Bible says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. If you say, the pain I'm feeling, and then you focus on that pain. And what happens is that once you focus on your pain, once you focus on yourself, you will not be able to see the other person. That's why we say, when we talk about inner healing, we say, once people who are hurting focus on their own pain. If you are in pain, you focus on that pain, and you're not even able to look up and see if there is any strength coming from anywhere. That's why I'm telling you that don't focus on the problems. Don't focus on the pains and the distraction. First of all, renew your perspective. Take off your eyes from what is not working, what did not work, what the person did that went wrong, and lift it up. And the Bible says, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. And then some of us are going to say, oh, it's difficult. It's difficult. Let me ask you a question. Friends, what are you going to do to change the other person? I want you to bring the microphone for me. If you discover that your spouse is having an affair, or your spouse is behaving in a manner that is less than who is created to be, tell me 3 things you're going to do to change the person. Bring the microphone. 3 things you're going to do. Anybody? Okay. Someone says someone has an answer. 3 things you're going to do to change the person. Number 1.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
First of all, I have to present my case to God.
Present your case to God, okay?
And pray for that person.
Okay.
Then I will make sure, the second thing I will make sure, I'll try and see those things that I'm not doing well and fix it rightly.
How will you fix it? You know what, this is step 1.
By talking to her.
By talking to her.
Talk to her and try to grab some things from what she said and try and correct it.
Okay. Do you know that there is nothing you can do to change someone's mind except the person chooses to?
Maybe it's a continuous thing.
I used to think that it is what I said that made you to change. No.
But I've already presented the case to God.
Okay, you have already presented it. Okay. What if the change? You know, you can present the case to God today and the case does not change today. The person's behavior does not change tomorrow.
It's not a spontaneous thing.
It's not a spontaneous thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
It's not spontaneous.
What we're looking at is how to focus on his presence so that you can experience his power before the person begins to even make any change. Because, listen, when the other person's behavior is less than who the person is created to be, and there are 3 categories, like I said earlier, 3 categories. The first category says, yeah, my marriage is fine, but I think it can be richer and deeper. The second one says, I'm unhappy, I'm disappointed, but I don't want to give up. The third one says, I'm happy, I'm disappointed, I want to give up. And then we say, okay, let's see how we can resolve the problems that will lead to us having communication, physical intimacy, and close friendship. And the first thing I'm saying is that we need to renew our perspective and begin to create deeper levels of intimacy with God. And I'm saying the reason is this. If you focus on your pain and focus on your disappointment, what's going to happen is you're going to have more pain, you're going to have more disappointment. But let's turn it the other way around. How do we experience his power? How do we experience his presence? So that even when this thing is happening, the other person is not changing yet. I am not broken and devastated in the moment. Am I talking to someone? And I've told you how to do that. 1 is to cultivate deeper levels of intimacy with God. You know something about intimacy with God? The more intimate you are with God, my brothers and my sisters, the less you feel the pain of things going on around here. You know why? You don't see things from what is happening here. You have another perspective. You are looking at life, but you're not looking at life from where everybody is seeing life. You are looking at life from a higher perspective. It is that higher perspective that gives you power to stay on even when the person's behavior is very hurtful. So if you don't have that intimate relationship with God and you are going through those times of pain and distraction, if you are not careful, you can commit suicide. It is choosing intimacy with God so that his presence will release power to you. That's the first thing to do. So what do we do next? Because the person that you are in relationship with might not change immediately. Because there are barriers to change. In a marriage, you talk and talk and talk and talk. You may have stayed with the person for 25 years and the person has refused to change. There are many barriers you will face in the marriage. You may even have feelings of failure. Say, how did I marry this person? You may tell yourself, eventually I made a mistake. The other person may also be feeling the same way. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have married this person. In those moments when you are sitting by yourself, you have feelings of regret. Am I talking to someone? I shouldn't have done this. Even those of us who are not yet married, you have gotten into a relationship before, and then when you came out of that relationship, you ask yourself, what happened? How did I get into this place? There are things that are barriers to change, because someone is saying now that I will talk to God and I will go and talk to the person. And I said to you that it's not my talk that will change the person, because there are barriers to change. Feelings of failure. I failed in this thing. And the moment you have feelings of failure, it's not easy to give in to change. Once you have feelings of failure, fear of rejection comes in. Fear of being alone comes in. All these things will make it difficult for change to come. The second thing is need for control. Sometimes, what is it that makes physical intimacy difficult? The person you are in a relationship with does not understand that God did not tell you to control people. The need to control and manipulate people is actually witchcraft. What God told you is to control circumstances and dominate other things that are not human beings. God never gave any human being a right to manipulate, bully, and control another person. All right? I won't go into the aspects of children who are bullied, but let's stay here. If you have that barrier where you are, you have a spouse who has deep need to control, deep need to manipulate, deep need to force you to do things, to bully you to do things his way, then it will be a barrier to change. And then the next barrier to change, because we are running for time, is pride. Where none of us will accept. There are some people, the word I'm sorry, the word forgive me is difficult for them. When there is pride, it makes understanding difficult. When there is, it also makes close friendship and intimacy difficult. You know what pride means? Pride means, see, I have never been wrong. I cannot be wrong. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone that the person never ever accepts that he's wrong? Pride is having an over-exaggerated opinion about yourself. And then pride is also refusing to accept who God says you are. Pride is the feeling that says, see, I'm better than everybody and nobody is like me. When you have a feeling of pride, that's a feeling that says, I'm going to exalt my throne, my need above everybody's need. In this house, my need first. When you make yourself number one, pride makes it difficult for there to be understanding, for there to be close friendship and intimacy in marriage. And then another thing is selfishness. Selfishness means to take care of number one. If you are selfish, look at what happens. You come first. God comes second. Your family, your wife comes third. The people, your family members come fourth. Your health and well-being can come when you think only of yourself. Self-centeredness is a philosophy that has entered our country. I don't know how we're going to deal with it. A man is building a house. This is road. He will take the fence of the house and put it on the road. And then when you stand at the end of the street and look at the city look untidy and look like a village.
Hi, my name is Ngozi Chukwu and I'm a creative. When I first heard about the School of Creative 7, I had this joy and excitement in my heart, like something I've been waiting for so long is finally here. One of the myths I used to believe was when growing up, they told us that when you see yourself eating in the dream, like it's terrible, it's one of the ways you get initiated into witchcraft and all that. But for years, I've been sleeping and I see myself eating, cooking in the dream. I didn't understand it at first, but when I came to this school, I got exposed to what God wanted me to do with the art He has given me. This school really got me what I needed at this particular time. It showed me that I can be prophetic through culinary arts.
Adelan School was a big experience for me because I learned a whole lot altogether. From when we had the classes to now, I would say my appetite for risk has increased. Seriously, I've learned to take the big step. I've learned to take the big step in achieving goals. I've learned to discover myself more as a person. One of the most exciting part of the classes was how to hear from God. Sincerely speaking, that aspect of spontaneity, hearing from God, it has been so awesome, because when it comes to hearing from God, I had a preconceived mindset, okay, this is how God speaks, this is how God speaks. But hearing from God has been amazing because I've been able to put both spontaneity, thoughts and everything together and get amazing results.